Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Miles High Club podcast. I'm your host, Miles. This is episode number 68. Yeah, episode number 68. Hope everyone out there is doing well. For the breaking news, I don't know about breaking news, but here's some news for the third time. For the third time in 2 years, COVID has found its way into my household, and for the third time, I have somehow managed to duck and avoid COVID. Now, every time I say this to people hit me with the, oh, you could be asymptomatic, Miles. You might have caught it one of the times and not been affected by it and then tested negative all the way through. Hey, maybe so. But still, I have defeated COVID 3 times. I don't know whether COVID's just missed every attack. I don't know whether it's tried to attack and it's been fought off by the cannibal. By my blood cells. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. I don't have the answers. All I know is that COVID's been in the house 3 times. I've ducked it 3 times. I am happy swimming. However, when was it? It was a week ago today. So a week ago on Tuesday, my girl did 2 lateral flow tests. Both were positive. Went and did a PCR test and then got her. And the next day, yep, you're positive. Definitely positive. When she took one, I took one because I was meant to go to work. I was meant to go into our studio the next day. I tested negative. Her little one tested negative. When I say her little one, I'm not talking about the baby. She has a son from before. I now raise him as my own. But he tested negative. I was like, cool. And then I tested negative again on Saturday because Friday, everything was fine. Had food. Everything. I ate things that I've ate all week. I didn't eat anything new. Didn't eat anything old. Only thing that was different is I didn't cook dinner. My missus cooked dinner. I'm just laying out the facts. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just telling you all the facts. And then Saturday came. Woke up Saturday. Felt fine. Jumped in the shower. Brushed my teeth. And then out of nowhere, just started throwing up. I think I threw up 3-4 times. Straight out of the shower, just threw up. Felt like shit. Went downstairs, got the heated blanket, cuddled up right into the corner of my corner sofa. Fell asleep for about an hour and a half. Woke up, had some orange juice, threw straight back up and was like, yeah, that's like I drank the orange juice and then ran straight upstairs and then they're getting into too much detail. That happened. So this time, jumped in bed. After throwing up, I was sweating like I had sweats. So I was like, oh no, I took my hoodie off. As soon as I took my hoodie off and lay on my bed, freezing cold, wrapped myself up in the duvet, fell asleep for about 4 or 5 hours. Woke back up. This time, I wasn't just throwing up my tummy. Okay, I don't know if you like eating or drinking or whatever, so I'm not going to get too details, but I was throwing up and my tummy was bubbling. I had bubble gut and, okay. Went straight back to bed. Woke up again like an hour later. Meanwhile, I haven't eaten all day. Okay, this is 5-6 o'clock. I haven't eaten all day. Every time I've had a drink, I've thrown up. I'm talking water. I was drinking water. I had orange juice. And I kept throwing it up. Went back downstairs. Thought I was doing well for about half an hour or so. I was drinking water, taking sips. Yep, straight through. At one point, I threw up so much that there was nothing inside. You know when you're dry heaving? I was doing that and nothing was coming out. And then green shit. It was that. Listen, this shit was bright green. I had to Google what the fuck is this green shit. Apparently, it was my bile from my stomach. Apparently, I'd thrown up so much I'd emptied the contents of my stomach, and that was just bile, just stomach acid or what, just in my tummy. That's how bad I was. Did a COVID test, and my girl was like, "Well, apparently, Megatron's side effect is like diarrhea and nausea and all these things." Did a test, tested negative. Did another test, tested negative. Still testing negative now. So I was like, it couldn't have been COVID. Said to my girls, like, you cooked the stir fry. Did you not feel anything? She was like, no, I was completely fine. She said it with a straight face. Like, again, I'm not accusing anyone of anything. I'm just saying she made dinner. She was perfectly fine with her plate. My plate had me emptying half the contents of my stomach. Not even the whole contents of my stomach through my mouth and my booty. And that was me all Saturday. Didn't eat anything. I don't think I came around till about 8-9 o'clock. And even then I wasn't 100%. I was just like, okay, I don't feel like I'm going to throw up. I don't feel like I'm going to shit myself. I've been drinking water now and it's not come back up yet. I think I'm good. Woke up Sunday. It was like nothing happened. My tummy was a little, you know when your tummy does a little noise. It did that and hurt, but then nothing happened. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm just really hungry. And so, yeah, I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was COVID. I don't know if it was something wrong with the food. I don't know. All I know is some people said it might have been a virus or a bug. The thing is, I don't go anywhere to get a 24-hour bug or a 24-hour virus, whatever the fuck it was. That shit beat me up and wrote off my whole Saturday. But I say that to say this. I still ducked COVID 3 times in a row. Touch wood, this shit don't come back into the house because it's pissing me off. Enough about me. I was going to get into the topics. And then 2 things happened before I came to record this podcast. I was like, oh, well, this is going to add some bulk to the very, very short list of topics that I had to talk about from the past week. First one popped in my head because I think it was the second to last thing I did before I walked in here to start recording this podcast. Put my daughter to bed, reading her a bedtime story. For the first time since I've started reading her bedtime stories, she fell asleep a quarter into, maybe a halfway through this story, 3 Little Pigs. She's heard it before. By the time I got to the house made of sticks, I looked and her eyes were closed. And I was like, let me just keep reading just in case she hasn't dropped off yet. Now, I could be wrong. I could have a bad memory. I don't know what the answer is, but I was reading the 3 Little Pigs. And by the time I got to the last pig, I was like, I don't remember the 3 Little Pigs going this way. So before I get into it, think now. Everyone, if you listen to this, think now of the 3 Little Pigs story. I'm going to ask you one question. Just shout out the first number that comes to your head. I know I'm not going to hear it, but just shout it out there just so you can play along with me. In the story, 3 Little Pigs, do any pigs die? If you answered yes, how many pigs die? And also, how do they die? If you answered no, you're probably thinking, Miles, what are you on about? Listen, I read this story. Everything made sense. 3 little pigs growing up with their mum. They had to move out. Be careful, there's a wolf out there. Build yourself a strong house. The first pig goes and gets straw. The second pig goes and gets sticks. The third pig goes and gets bricks. All that. I was like, They all build their houses. The wolf turns up to the first pig's house made of straw. Our huff and our puff. He blows the house down and eats the pig. Okay? In my head, that's how the story went. In this story I was reading to Mila, he blew the house down and then you just want me to look my daughter in the face and tell her that this pig outran a wolf. Like, after this hungry wolf had all the strength to blow a house down, he just let this little piggy run off to his brother's house. The story doesn't even tell you where the first pig goes. It just tells you he runs. And then you get to the second pig's house, made of sticks. The wolf blows his house down. And in my story, he eats the second pig. Nope. In this story, same thing happened. He blew the house of sticks down. And then that pig just ran off. And then miraculously, both the pigs turn up at their brother's house. He tries to blow the house down. Doesn't work. Goes in through the chimney. Lands in a pot of soup. Runs off out the door. Ending's pretty much the same. Do the pigs... Listen, you're probably thinking, Miles, it's not that deep. I know it's not that deep. When I talk about one of the topics today, you'll be thinking as if Miles was concerned about whether or not pigs lived or not. But I grew up thinking those pigs died. They were eaten by the wolf. And that taught me one very important lesson. Listen to your mum, okay? Mama Pig said, build a strong house. First 2 pigs didn't listen and died. One of the reasons I'm a mummy's boy. I listen to my mum. I'm grown. I got a family, a house, a mortgage. I will still ring my mum over anything and every. Mum, shall I get blinds for the house or shall I get like netting? Mum, Mum, I got ants. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm ringing my mum. Okay, she's normally the first person I will ring before anything. It could be with electrics. I don't care what it's about. I'm ringing my mum. And then the second story, I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I remembered it's a book with like 50 stories in there. I was flicking through and I went to The Boy Who Cried Wolf. I'm going to ask you guys the same question again, even though I probably feel like you know where I'm going with this. In the story, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, what happened to the boy? You should have all shouted out your answer by now. He got eaten, yeah. He cried wolf because he was bored or he was an arsehole. One of the two. There was no... Villagers came, no wolf. He did it again. No, he did it again and again until one day they got fed up with him. The wolf came. He called for help. No one came for help. The wolf ate him. The end. Or they catch the wolf and cut him open and find him inside the wolf. Alive or dead, I don't know. But you get my point. Nope. Not in this story. In this story, he's with the sheep and he calls for a wolf and nothing happens and the same, so on and so on. And then one day he doesn't turn up. And then they're like, well, one time he doesn't turn up home at night. So everyone goes up to the field to find him and he's hiding in a tree and the sheep are gone. And he's like, yo, there was a wolf. Where were you? And I was like, you've been telling us that so many times. We didn't believe you. So the one time it came, do not lie. No, there's no consequence to that. Like the sheep died. Okay. A couple sheep died. I'm alive. In the story I was raised in, that wolf ate the boy. Now, I'm not going to say I grew up not lying. But I was very careful about the lies I told. And I was fully aware of the repercussions of telling lies over and over and over and over again. Okay? That was the one topic. And then, again, I need to click this part of the video when I'm editing it to remind me, otherwise I'm going to forget. But put Mila to bed, came down, making myself a herbal tea, as you can see me drinking now. Flicked over to WorldStar to watch, just to see what was on WorldStar, and there was a random video. Now, I don't know where this video's from. I think it's from the UK. From the sound of the voice, it sounds like it was from the UK. They're on a field, a group of people on a field. Now, the video title said it was a stranger. I don't know if it was a stranger or if it was someone's friend, because it was just a boy. Like, someone's recording, it looks like they're sat on the floor. There's a couple of people sat around them on the floor, and then the camera slowly pans over to some guy who's just stood there, messaging on his phone. But then, for no reason, unprovoked, some other boy just runs up behind him, drop kick, slide tackles his ankle or his leg as a prank, but breaks his ankle. Like in the video, you see when his foot hits him, his leg just, like the bottom of his leg just sits right next to his foot. Like it just bends, and you can hear the snap, and the boys on the floor in agony. I have said this a million times about these pranks. Leave people alone. Leave people alone. Your prank shouldn't involve you physically touching someone. It definitely shouldn't involve you physically harming someone. At what point do you think, you know what, let me just run up to this stranger and do something that could potentially break his leg? You need to watch. It's not like one of them pranks where you walk behind someone and like you kick their foot behind them and they're walking. This guy's just stood there stationary and he runs up. This guy's running. He takes a run from behind and just jumps into this diving slide tackle, snaps his ankle. What are the laws for this? What are the laws for? I'm suing you. I want you arrested. Can you sue someone and get them arrested? I feel like if they get arrested, you can't sue them. I'm sure that's the difference between like civil cases and actual law. Either way, I'm suing somebody. I'm suing you. I'm suing the person holding the phone. I'm suing everyone around me that knew that this was happening. I also want you all arrested. I'm suing your parents for not raising you with more common sense. It was, if I remember, the video would have played already, so you'd have seen exactly what I'm talking about. But it fucked up. You ever watch a video? You ever in a good mood or just a positive mood, and then you just see something and it just pisses you off? And you know deep down that this video shouldn't piss you off. It's not about you. It doesn't involve you. It doesn't involve anyone that you know or care about. It's just a random video on the internet, but it's just fucked up your mood, your day. That's exactly what that video did. It fucked up my whole chakra, the whole energy around me was so good. I just put my daughter to bed. Looked at my beautiful little girl sleeping, making myself a herbal tea, but to come in here and record the podcast, and then I seen that, and I was just like, it just pissed me off. Now, let's get on to the topics that I actually put down. The first topic, I have little to no information. I'm actually not too sure what's going on, but although I know the media does these things to scare people, it's working on me. For everyone listening that's wondering why I'm taking gaps every now and again, I'm drinking my herbal tea. Some ASMR. See that? Ticking some boxes now. Ticking them YouTube boxes. Russia versus the Ukraine. I don't know what's going on. No, I don't know what's going on. All I know is that the Russians have allegedly gathered up a whole bunch of troops and I've got them waiting at the border. I don't know what that means, okay? I don't know if they've literally got people out there with tents like Game of Thrones style, just parked up outside the border waiting for the orders. But that's the way the media's talking about it. That's the way they're going on. Listen, if I see World War III one more time in the media, well, I have zero power. I don't know what I can do. I might try. I'm going to build me a bunker. I'm going to try. I'm going to dig out my garden. I'm going to just dig down as far down as I can go. Start buying some materials, some screw fix or tool station from somewhere. And I'm building me a bunker. Probably not going to last or work. But what else can I do? What else can I hit? Look here. Privilege, first of all. Narcissism, just thinking about, I'm talking about World War III and all I can think about is myself, but it's the key to survival, people. You've got to think about yourself, okay? Why is it, I tried to Google why is it happening. Again, no one knows. There's not an official answer, okay? I haven't lived through any wars. I don't know if there was an official answer for the last war. I know why it happened, but I don't know, like back then if people said why we're going to war, I don't know if they were given like we're going to war because of Hitler. I don't know if they were told that. I've tried to do some reading. Apparently, the Russians want to overthrow the Ukraine so that they can rebuild the Soviet Union, or they can re-amount the political power that they had back in the Soviet Union. Something like that. The Russians think something unfair happened at the end of the last war, and I don't know. All I know is that Russia is on the borders of the Ukraine. The UK and the US are ready to, I don't know, are we back in the Ukraine? Or is it more of, we're not necessarily on your side, but we need to get involved because if this shit works for them, then it's kind of peak for everyone. So who knows? But apparently the US and the UK are simultaneously telling Putin, yo, please chill. Can we not talk about this? And meanwhile, we're sending people to camps nearby and bases nearby just in case shit goes left. We've got troops there. Why are we involved? I saw something about NATO. Ain't we ate the EU? Didn't we Brexit? Doesn't that mean we're by ourselves? Is it not just us? And in case anyone from Russia is watching this video, when I say us, I don't mean us as in I'm involved with whatever's happening. I meant us as in the United Kingdom because I live here purely for that purpose. It's not us as in I'm with them kind of. I won't be there. I just won't be there. That's the only thing I can say. That's literally all I've got to talk about this. Apart from going into conspiracies and telling you all about how I'm not prepared for a war. Like, how does a war even happen? What happens? What you need to understand is when I think about war, my only reference to war is Call of Duty games or Medal of Honor or any games that involved war, human war on this planet. There's a lot of innocent people that die. I can tell you that much about wars. And these shits never stay within the countries. Like, why are we giving Russia people? Have we not seen enough videos of Russians fighting bears to know that they don't care? I don't think Russia care. I think Russia are going to go ahead with what they've planned. I think you lot have just slowed them down. The UK and US are trying to stand up and puff their chest, and Russia's just looking at them like, listen, when I'm done with them, keep the same energy. And then Russia are going to go holler their boys China. I'm like, yo, China, remember you had beef with the US? Yeah, well, let's just settle them just real quick. And next thing you know, we're speaking Russian or Chinese or some new language that they've developed, Russianese, Chushan. One of them. I asked my friend about this before, not to do with this situation. I was like, how bad would it have to be for people like me to get, hey, Miles, stop working at Samsung, drop the phone, pick up the pistol. Like, how bad would that situation? Again, it sounds very selfish. It is selfish, okay? I got a family to raise. I got a house. Well, I got a house to pay off. I need to know these things. I don't think I'm mentally prepared for war. I'm definitely not physically prepared for war, I can tell you that much. I don't have the knowledge. I don't think I'd know how to survive in my own garden for 24 hours. Never mind whatever's, you know how cold Russia is as well. See again, I'm not in war, never been to war, and I know you don't necessarily have a choice in these things, but England's cold enough. If they want to go beef over in Russia and you let them be, you know how cold it is out there. You'll be giving away your position, breathing, and they'll just see the condensation in the air. Meanwhile, they're walking around in slide shorts and a bulletproof vest because it's just Thursday to them. Meanwhile, you can't even take the clip out your gun because it's frozen. See, I don't know. Can we please just not have a war? I don't feel like we need a war. And again, I did say this at the start. It might not even be that deep. As in, it might not be another World War III. It might not be a World War III. There might be shit might happen between them two, but it might not be a World War III. I don't know how many countries have to be involved for it to be classified as a world war. I'm sure the Ukraine and Russia are just next door neighbors, so it's the Russian war, or whoever wins, it's that war. The Ukrainian war, the Russian war, the Russian 2020, the Russian 2022 war. Yeah, I don't know, but that's that. Something that I do care about a bit more though. If you live in the UK, it says all the highway code. No, highway code changes are coming, and they're coming this weekend, as in what day is it? The 29th? Starting the 29th, Saturday the 29th. I had no idea any of this was happening until I saw this, so I was like, thank you very much. So there's 3 important changes. I'm going to educate you guys just in case. I don't know how, if it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, can't say I didn't try. The hierarchy of road users is the main focus of the highway code. I'm just trying to find out. Here we go. The hierarchy ensures quicker or heavier modes of travel that have the greater responsibility to reduce the danger or threat they may pose to others on the road. It means the greater responsibility will rest on the motorist to help them reduce the harm they might cause to less protected cyclists and pedestrians. Basically, when you come to crossings and roundabouts and people walking on the road, pedestrians now have priority. So previously, where the car had a priority, which means if you saw a car coming, move. Which my biggest thing, because I remember I passed my theory first time, and my test first time actually. But I remember one of the questions being around the zebra crossing, and I hate if I'm driving and you're at the side of the zebra crossing waiting, I do not have to stop. Okay. As of Saturday, I will have to stop. But currently, the highway code, if you are waiting at the side of a zebra crossing, I do not have to stop. It's just me being courteous and stopping for you to create a safe space for you to cross. Now, if you're already on the zebra crossing, I have to let you cross. You have priority. But if you were just crossing the road randomly, you do not have priority. If I hit you and you're in the road, that's on you. Unfortunately, if you die, I'll catch a charge. But if nothing happens to you and you just jumped out and ran in the road, like, I got priority. That also means another one. So imagine you're driving down the street. Hold on, what side of the road do we drive on? We drive on the left-hand side of the road. I don't know why I had to think about that. You're driving down the street and you want to turn left. Previously, If there was someone waiting on the corner and you wanted to turn left, you had priority. So you would turn, go, and then the pedestrian would walk. That's changed. The pedestrian now has priority. I'm just warning you, like, if you're about to turn left and you see someone step out in the road, hit your brakes, especially if it's after Saturday, because they have priority. I'm just making sure you guys know this. Motorists will also be encouraged to adopt the so-called Dutch reach, which is a practice widely used across Europe, which involves the motorist opening the door next to them with their opposite hand so they can look over their shoulder. Simply as this, when you're in your car, so I'm a driver, as you can tell. So if you're in the driver's seat, we drive on our steering wheel's on the right. So normally when you go to open your door, you drive a door, you would just use your right hand and open it. The Dutch, what's it called? The Dutch reach is you'd use your left hand, which would naturally sort of turn your body. So as you're going to open your door, you can just quickly look and see if any pedestrians are coming. You're probably thinking what I'm thinking. Is that not what the ring mirror's for? Look, no one's there. Open, but there you go. It's saying it will be encouraged. It is hoped that adopting the Dutch reach technique will minimize potential injuries to passing cyclists and pedestrians. So it said it will be encouraged, so you don't have to do that. The shit I said before, though, the hierarchy of road users, that has to. So, yeah, it says here, the hierarchy of road users, drivers of vehicles can cause the greatest harm in the event of a collision, bear the greatest responsibility to take care and reduce damage. So that's number one. The hierarchy of road users, the car is... It's pedestrian and cyclist at the top, then car, which moves me on to number 2, pedestrian priority. As of January 29, drivers, motorcyclists and cyclists turning at a junction must give way to pedestrians crossing or waiting to cross at the road. That's what I said. They should also give way to pedestrians waiting to cross a zebra crossing, as well as pedestrians and cyclists crossing a parallel crossing. So previously, if people were waiting to cross, the car had priority. We didn't have to stop. Highway codes change now. Listen, don't be surprised if you see a lot of stories coming out on the weekend, after the weekend. And don't be surprised if you see it, of people just stepping out into the road now, because they have priority. The highway code has changed. It's your job to stay up to date with the highway code. I wouldn't risk it. But listen, some people are down and out bad. If I see a car not going that fast, I'll just step out in front of them. I broke my leg. Quick 5-10 grand. Listen, you probably sat there thinking, yo, I'm not getting hit by a car for 5 grand. That's you. With your privilege and or common sense. Some people don't have the common sense. Other people do not have the privilege. Some people see an easy lick and they will go for it. So again, the hierarchy of road users has changed. The greater responsibility will rest on the motorist now. And then rule number 2, the pedestrian policy. Pedestrians basically have the right of way. And then rule 3, cyclist safety. The new rule tells cyclists to ride in the center of the lane, keeping cars behind them, unless there is a designated cycle lane for them to go in. Oh my God. Listen, cyclists don't piss me off. I haven't had an interaction or an altercation with a cyclist, so I don't bear any negative feelings to them. I watch enough fail videos on YouTube and road rage videos to see when it's like the biker's being a dickhead, or when the car, 9 times out of 10 it is the car, someone in a car being a dickhead, chasing down a cyclist or swerving to throw them off and shit like that. It's horrible. But now, if you're driving, usually they hover over to the left and they stay to the left and you go around them. As of Saturday, this rule is telling them, if you're on a bike, get in the middle of the lane. That's to stop cars coming around them. It's to reduce damage. Now you just got to sit behind the bike. I think that's what's going to get me. If I wasn't getting pissed off by them before, if I have to sit behind you on your bike and there's no possible chance for an overtake, I'm sure it talk. Hold on, does it talk about overtaking? I saw overtaking. So I sound like fucking that Looney Tune. I say. This is to ensure that cyclists can make themselves as visible as possible. Drivers are also told, in the interest of protecting cyclists, that they must not cut across cyclists going ahead when turning into or out of a junction. This rule also applies regardless of whether the cyclists are using a cycle lane, a cycle track, or riding ahead of the road. Man. The 2022 guideline amendments also mean drivers must now give cyclists priority at roundabouts under Rule 186. So now, hold up. So if I'm waiting to get on the roundabout and there's a bike coming, the bike has priority. Not if I'm on the roundabout and I see a bike. You can't just plow it. I can't just slam my brakes. Listen. What other runs are there? Broken windscreen wipers could land drivers with a hefty £2,500 fine. Go on Amazon. Just Google the make of the car. Just go on Amazon or eBay. Buy some wipers. £20. Click a YouTube tutorial. Just unclip. Clip your new ones on. Boom. Save yourself some money. Overtaking road users. Here's another one. Rule 163 of the Highway Code on overtaking other road users has been updated and now entails leaving at least 1.5 meters when overtaking cyclists at speeds of up to 30 miles an hour. When overtaking at higher speeds, the distance increases. So you can overtake them. You just got to leave a distance of at least 1.5 meters. Drivers are now also encouraged to leave a minimum of 2 meters of space when passing a pedestrian who is walking on the road. I was just about to say, why are you walking on the road? But there are those places where there is no pavement or there is no path, so you've just got to cut in, walk right down the side. Turning left. The amendment to turning left highlights the importance of pedestrian priority and says that cyclists must give way to pedestrians crossing or waiting to cross now. They are also encouraged to avoid riding on the inside of vehicles slowing down to turn left or indicating that they are turning. If you are turning right, check the traffic to ensure it is safe, then signal and move to the center of the road. Wait until there's a safe guy. Okay, so that's just people going on. So there you go. Don't say I didn't warn you. I don't want to hear about any of you like getting into trouble out there. Everyone stay safe. Pedestrian, if you're a pedestrian, don't let this get to your head. A car can kill you, okay? Worst case scenario, a car can kill you. That's all you need to know. Everyone be safe out there on the roads. It's a report from me. And lastly, I don't know if you heard about this in, was it North London? I'm sure it was it North or West London? Well, it was West London. So it was West London. A couple of days ago, a man stabbed his ex-wife, I think. Yeah, a man stabbed his ex-wife to death in North London. And then he was hit by a car of someone trying to save the woman that was being stabbed. Unfortunately, the stabbing got too much. But now, thousands have signed a petition supporting the driver who hit knife attacker. I love these stories. We saw it. I spoke about it last week, was it? I spoke about it last week with the Russian, and he found out that his best friend had sexually assaulted his 6-year-old daughter. So he killed his best friend. And then a bunch of people came forward and started petitions saying, yo, he should not be arrested for murder. So the charges got dropped. Similar things happen here. Well, I don't know about the charges, but similar things happen here. Thousands of people have signed a petition branding a driver who mowed down a knife attacker a hero and calling for him not to face criminal charges. The 26-year-old was arrested on suspicion of murder after ploughing into Leon McCashry, 41, as he stabbed his ex-partner to death Yasmin Chikafi, I think, sorry if I've got your name wrong, to death in the street in front of horrified witnesses. A number of people have desperately tried to stop McCaskey before the driver hit him with his blue Renault in somewhere Vale, West London on Monday morning. Listen, if someone sees me being attacked by a knife and it looks like the person's trying to kill me and they hit them with the car, yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. You can't... Okay, so here's my thing. If you can't prove that person was trying to kill them, I'm trying to think both sides. I've got no one here to bounce off, so I've got to think of it on both sides. Like, on the one side of it, yo, he was trying to kill that person. I wasn't trying to kill him. I was just trying to stop him. On the other hand, you can't prove whether or not that person was trying to kill them. You don't know what was going on. It could have been a fake knife. It could have been for a movie. You could have killed both of them. You could have killed more people. I get it. Listen, I know we want more good Samaritans out there. And I think to myself, I hope that if I was ever in that situation, I had the courage to be the good Samaritan. However, I can see why there aren't that many good Samaritans. When I think about it, I can see why there aren't that many good Samaritans. And literally just, like, if I see someone getting stabbed, if I try and stop that person from stabbing you, best case scenario, I stop them from stabbing you. Worst case scenario, I die. You see what I mean? Now, I get it. In the moment, you might not think that. You might just fight or flight and go in. But if you have the chance to think about it, like if I run around the corner, I'm like, oh shit, is he stabbing him? I'm going to go help him. What about if he stabs me? See? Now it's, do I just stand there and call the police and watch this shit go on, knowing that if no one stops him, he's going to die? Maybe I'm not built for that. I've never been in the situation where I've seen someone in a life-threatening situation. I've had to jump it. I've seen people get beat up. I didn't get involved. I was like, hey, clearly something's happened here that I don't know about. And you're getting beat up in a one-on-one. It's not like I need to get involved. I've seen my friends have one-on-ones. I'm just like, hey, as long as no one else gets involved, we all good here. So but yeah, I don't know. It's a tough one. But I have hindsight. I know the story. Do I think he should get charged in murder? They're saying charged in murder, so I'm assuming the man he hit died. There's not. I'm trying to find. Hold on. There wasn't much on the story because it's just the story about the petition. I actually haven't got the full story about what happened. But if he's been arrested for suspicion of murder, I don't know if they thought he killed the woman or if him using the car to get the attacker off her killed him as well. Who knows? But you can't do him for murder. And manslaughter? Yeah, maybe manslaughter. Manslaughter, maybe. I still think it's a horrible charge to give someone. Like, yo, I tried to save that person's life. Again, the defense or whoever could just say, why don't you just get out the car? Bitch, he had a knife. I'm not just going to get out the car. I was in a car. I was like, I know. Let me hit him. Again, I don't know how he thought. I don't know the situation, so I don't know what position it was in that he thought he could hit him but not hit her. I don't know what happened. Okay, but a hero, yes. Unfortunately, the woman still died, which is a terrible shame. But you can still brand him as a hero. We do need more people I say we need more people like that, but that shit could have gone. Number one, it could have gone bad. Like, it could have gone way worse than what already happened. But number two, it's still, like, he could get sent down for murder. Imagine that. What happened? I saw someone stabbing someone, so I hit him in my car trying to protect her, but he died. And now I'm here. See, again, this is why not everyone wants to be a hero. At least not a hero without superpowers, anyway. But that's the end of the topics. Let's jump straight into What's on the Box, the weekly segment where I talk about what I've been watching this week. I've either forgotten anything that I've watched last week, which means it couldn't have been that good, or I just didn't watch anything like new or newsworthy to tell you about. Like, I'm still watching Criminal Minds. I'm on season 7. If you haven't watched Criminal Minds, go and watch Criminal Minds. I watch it on Disney Plus. I think it's on Amazon as well. Who knows? Criminal Minds is amazing. If you like CSI, Bones, NCIS, programs like that, police investigation, crime, drama, Criminal Minds is a really good one. There is a new show that I started watching today. It's called Hit Monkey. It's on Disney Plus. It's a Star original. And I swear I saw the Marvel banner. I saw Marvel on there somewhere. Unless I'm just seeing things because it was on Disney Plus. But it's called Hit Monkey. Without giving away too much, it's about a hitman who carries out an assassination, but then the people that hired him then try and kill him. He escapes, runs off into the mountains to live with monkeys. Listen, keep watching because it is good. He lives in that mountain to live off monkeys. One of the monkeys doesn't like the fact that he's come to live there. They don't talk to each other, but there's a thing. The guys that went to kill the assassin in the first place find out where he is. They go up there, they kill the assassin and all the other monkeys. Apart from the one monkey that got sent away. He came back, saw what happened. He then ends up killing the assassins. And then the assassin that got killed originally, his ghost spirit is now tied to this monkey. And they're basically going to vengeance to try and find out what the fuck happened and who started this and why. I'm 2 episodes in and that shit is dope. As soon as I finish recording it, I say that. I don't know if I've got the energy in me to stay up and watch it. But tomorrow I'm definitely going to finish watching the rest of Hitmonkey on Disney+. What else is there? Peacemaker. New episode of Peacemaker comes out. It's either today or tomorrow. I think it comes out on Thursdays. I'm not too sure. But apparently, according to The Insider, Peacemaker is the biggest streaming TV series in the world right now as HBO Max Originals gains momentum. The fact that Peacemaker isn't available in the UK or other places in the world, and it's allegedly the biggest streaming TV series right now. Well done, HBO, and well done, fucking DC. Apparently, it surpassed Netflix's The Watcher, which I still haven't fucking finished. I've got 2 episodes left of the last season of season 2. And Disney's The Book of Boba Fett, which I haven't watched. Episode 5? Episode 5. Whatever this week's episode is, I haven't watched that. So that's episode 5, I believe. Listen, Peacemaker is dope. If you haven't watched it, go and watch The Suicide Squad with John Cena and Idris Elba, because it is a good movie. And then start watching Peacemaker. Like I said, it's not available in the UK. It's only available on HBO Max in the US. But if you have your ways of finding things, then use your ways of finding things and watch it. That's all I say. I don't know who's listening and watching these things. But that's dope. The Book of Boba Fett. I hope this episode's a good one. Only because episode 1... I'll be honest, it bored me. I couldn't get into episode 1. But episode 2 and 3 just went up and up for me. But then by the end of episode 3, by the end of episode 4, actually. Yeah, by the end of episode 3, I was like, I kind of prefer the backstory they're telling me rather than the current story that I'm assuming the backstory is going to eventually catch up to. And then that'll be the main focus. I'm just going back to the episodes now, because I swear episode 5 came out, yeah. Episode 5's come out today, so I've seen the first 4. The first 3 episodes, the backstory was more interesting than I thought what was going on, like, currently now in the Book of Boba Fett. But now that backstory's closed, the Tuskens, I was expecting, like, when the Tuskens got killed, I thought Boba Fett was going to go back and find some Tuskens that survived and then exact revenge. But no, he went back and just shot some people on a bike, and then it was done. Went back to find his armor and it wasn't there. So I was like, I think the next flashback, if there is a flashback in this episode, it probably should be how he finds his armor. Not that I care, but we know, like, we saw the things take it from him, so it's been sold. So he's probably gonna have to go and get it back. We know that story doesn't bother me. It was the Tusken story. That was the better one, but hopefully episode 5 of the Book of Boba Fett is a lot better. And for anyone out there that is listening, for those of you that care, it's the one time of the year. It's coming up. It's the one time. It's probably the one thing that I look forward to each and every year. And I don't know why. Or I do know why, because it's fucking entertaining. It's the Royal Rumble. Yes, I still watch wrestling. I still watch WWE. And this weekend, it's the Royal Rumble. I'm not going to get into it. Don't worry. All I'm saying is it's the Royal Rumble. So if you watch, message me and we can actually talk about it. Because I don't know if I'm going to stay up because it's America. So it comes on at like 11 and doesn't finish till like 3, 4 in the morning. That's the whole thing. Who knows? But that has been another episode of the Miles High Club podcast. I've been your host, Miles. You've been listening. If you've made it this far, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Until the next time, peace.